Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to our late afternoon update. I'm Victoria Holmes here in the digital studio. Democrat Cal Cunningham is conceding North Carolina's U.S. Senate race to Republican incumbent Tom Tillis. Cunningham released a statement saying he wished him and his family the best in their continued service in the months and years ahead. Senator Tillis also released a statement saying he is incredibly humbled by the chance to serve the people of North Carolina. You can read both statements on our website. Governor Roy Cooper is extending Phase 3 orders until December 4th. Cooper announced the extension in a news conference this afternoon. The governor also says he's lowering the indoor gathering limit from 25 people to 10. For more information on the order, visit WNCT.com. Pitt Greenville Airport officials say American Airlines may not resume flights to the facility until early January, but that could change if demand for air travel picks up or Congress passes COVID-19 relief funding. A viewer contacted 9 on Your Side saying the airline was not scheduling flights at PGV before January 5th. In October, American Airlines suspended service to Greenville and other smaller market airports due to the expiration of previous coronavirus relief funding agreements. The Greenville Airport director says service could resume earlier or after January 2nd, but it's dependent on travel demand and federal relief money. The director also says there are no plans for layoffs because of delays in resuming airline flights to Greenville. 2 men are in custody, and deputies are still looking for a third suspect involved in a robbery and assault in Bertie County. Investigators say the attack happened in June of 2019 at a home on Early Station Road. One of the victims called 911 after freeing themselves from being tied up by an attacker. Deputies found another victim still tied up. The investigation led to other counties with similar crimes. 2 men, Brian Valentine and Tracy Mitchell, are facing charges including kidnapping, robbery, and burglary. Deputies are still looking for Horace White Jr., who is considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information, contact Bertie County deputies. The Supreme Court is considering whether the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, should be thrown out over a Republican-led challenge. The justices heard about 2 hours of arguments in the case through a teleconference today. Questioning by justices seems to indicate they may be unwilling to kill off the health care law. The court's ruling is due by the end of June. And 9 on Your Side is honoring veterans across the nation by highlighting their stories throughout the month of November. Today, we highlight the story of Mike Alexander and learn about the World War II Museum preserving history.
My father was a World War II veteran. He was my hero.
You could say that Mike Alexander was born to serve.
I never wanted to do anything else but be an Army officer.
He wanted to follow in his father's footsteps.
So I did. I was commissioned in December of 1970, and he retired in January of 71 at the same post I reported for duty at. So we crossed paths, him out the door, me in the door.
For the past 7 years, Alexander has come here to the World War II Museum to volunteer, to give seminars, and to hopefully inspire the next generation.
The museum is not here to glorify war, but it's to recognize the sacrifice and courage of men and women all throughout the United States and the world.
For Alexander, the museum is a place where he can connect with the living and also learn about the past. Growing up, Alexander didn't hear many of his father's war stories.
Every now and then I'd catch a little glimpse here or there. Mostly I would overhear him talking to people in his own unit because he stayed in the military after the war.
In fact, his father, Merrill Alexander, or to his friends Alex, served his country for 31 years. And it wasn't until Mike Alexander started volunteering at the World War II Museum a few years ago did he connect the dots and start learning more about who his father was and what he did during World War II.
A 105 millimeter howitzer, and these are the kind of guns that my dad's artillery battery had during World War II.
Taking us for a tour through the museum, Alexander showed us significant artifacts that connected him to his father. And with every tour he gives, he has one hope at the end.
Keep the flame alive, keep the remembrance of the people, particularly the ones that paid the ultimate price.
And speaking of veterans, tomorrow is Veterans Day. WNCT.com shows you where you can score freebies at restaurants and in retail. Applebee's and Cracker Barrel are just two places that are offering deals for our veterans. You can check out the full list of freebies at WNCT.com. And we're rolling out another episode of our podcast, What the Politics. Emily Serverich and I are joined by Major Garrett, Chief Washington Correspondent from CBS News. We talked about his experience covering news from competing networks, Fox News and CBS. We also explore his career path as a local newspaper reporter from Amarillo, Texas, all the way up to being a TV network journalist in Washington, D.C. The episode drops today at 4:30 p.m. on our website. You can also listen on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Here is a preview.
So many journalists in your generation are hungry and energized, and they want to see the world, they want to discuss the world, they want to report on the world, they want to reveal the world. That's the essence of journalism. Journalism is based on curiosity. It's not telling people what to do or what to think or taking on some partisan uniform. It's saying, here's the world. Are you satisfied with it? So many.
Thank you for tuning in to our late afternoon update. I'm Victoria Holmes here in the digital studio.